Okay, so earlier this morning, as part of the 2017 Pokemon World Championships, the Pokemon Company released a couple new trailers for Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. So here, I've already watched them both a couple times. I'm just gonna give a run through, a breakdown, see if there are any things that I can find just quickly. This isn't a big analysis, it's not a scripted thing, it's just showing off a few things that I found, and giving sort of my thoughts and opinions on what's in these trailers. So starting off, we have the more Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon details revealed trailer, which is just an overview thing. Starts off with the same thing as always. Does open up with a rearranged version of the Wild Battle theme. It sounds a bit more intense. So this could either just be the Wild Battle theme, or there's a Dark Grass thing like they did in Black and White 2, where there's a new arrangement here. Here's just choosing your starters, new artwork for all three of them. Now if you look back here, where is it? Right here. I can't tell what route they're on just based on that. It looks like, it looks like it's on the starting island still. So that might be. I don't remember off the top of my head from the original games, but I think there might have been a gate that you need to complete the first trial to get through. I'm not positive on that. I know there was at least one gate on Melemele Island. I don't remember if it was. It must have been for the first trial, because there was only one trial on the island, right? Yeah, there was only the only trial on Melemele Island was the first one, so it's probably. Well, first off, this shows that trials are probably going to be back, because it uses the exact same pattern as it did in the first game for the trial gates, so you will need to pass a trial to get through here. Then, more importantly, there's a Rockruff following the trainer here. That might be a return of the Heart Gold Soul Silver mechanic of having your Pokemon follow you. I don't know. It could just be certain Pokemon, like your starter, or the special Rockruff that can evolve into Dusk form. That makes more sense to me than... because it was relatively easy to do with the sprites for the 492 Pokemon in... or 493. However many there were in Gen 4. That, in sprites, you could do, but with the amount of Pokemon there are now, and having to model all of them separately for battle and for walking, I'm pretty sure it's just going to be limited to starters and everything that had an overworld model already in the first game, which includes Rockruff, and maybe even just the event one. And there's this new foresty area. It looks almost like a gym to me. I should probably not be going back a full 5 seconds and just doing this. This almost looks like there'd be a gym leader or a trial captain or a totem Pokemon or something in the back. Obviously, there's not a totem Pokemon because there's no totem. But this looks like sort of an area, a trial or a gym. It's gotta be. This almost even looks like either the cave on Pony Island with the dragon trial, or the cave where you were chasing the Yungoos during the first trial. So it could be one of those, but updated. Or just straight up a grass-type gym. There's also a new person here. I don't think that model was anywhere in the original games. And here you've got some Executor on Executor Island just dancing and doing their thing. I don't know what this is, I guess. Hey, we've got a field model for Executor now. Then we've got Kahili doing a Z-move pose. This does not look like her Elite Four chamber, that's for sure, because there's a rocky background or something. I don't know if this means she's a gym leader or something now, or you'll just meet her earlier in the game, or she's just not an Elite Four and a character. I could see them turning some combination of trial captains and kahunas and Elite Four from the original games into gym leaders or something, then also having the trials and also the Elite Four, but we don't know if it's a sequel or just an alternate universe, so what this actually means, I don't know, could just be a change to the story. Then we do have Ryuki in what looks to be a recreation of the Vermilion City gym. You've got all the garbage cans, you got the right colors. Only thing is, Ryuki is a dragon-type trainer. You got a black belt in the back here, what looks like a battle girl over here, so it's like a fighting-type version of the Vermilion City gym with a dragon guy in it. he could be the rival, and that they're just reusing the gym type for this. They have reused gyms before, like every rock gym, if it's the first gym of the region, it's kind of the exact same thing. Let's be real here. And there have been similar puzzles, so it also could be this is in one of the cities that derives heavily from Kanto influence, so hey, we'll replicate their gym too. It could be a port city. It could be a port city that you get to from Vermilion City, so the gym there is the same as Vermilion City's gym. Either way, I don't know about the trainers, but this is a strong case for there being gyms coming back. Ryuki calls himself a star. I guess he's some sort of performer. Not really sure about that. Here, we've got one of the Aether Foundation rooms. I think it was an Aether Paradise with an Alolan Vulpix. Now, this could just be a shot of some extra story thing, but it's worth noting that Lily has an Alolan Vulpix in the anime, and they could be bringing that over to her character in these games. Then, this is the big thing. This is in Hau'oli City. You might know, I've got pictures of these out already, that a lot of places in Alola in the first games, there were just gaps. Just places where there was just an empty square of space. Actually, I'm gonna... Maybe this gate was the gate being blocked off. Maybe you can't go up here. You might not get your starter in Iki Town, or it's either the gate is probably there or there. I'd say you probably still will get your starter in Iki Town like you did in the original games. This route's the one that's blocked off until you do the trial. Anyway, check the video here. You can't tell from the building here, but you can tell from the new Alola map. They're actually right here on this street in Hau'oli City. If you bring out the brand new map of Alola that also has this weird rift-looking thing, as well as a more sunset type thing, which I guess sort of goes with the whole new Lycanroc form. If you zoom in over here, see that. Wrong island. There is a building here where there was not a building in the original version of the map. These are probably the gyms, if there are gyms. Some places don't have new buildings, but some places do. If you look, there's this empty platform here on Pony Island. That stays empty in this picture. So that's still empty. If you go over here, you got a little gap here next to the first Pokemon Center on Akala Island. But if you zoom over to here, there is in fact a building next to it. It looks sort of like a house. I'm not sure. I didn't check every town to see if there were new buildings. And in fact, there are still a couple empty spaces that don't have new buildings in them. Like, especially the one I showed off in Pony Island before. And this random square thing, as well as... There's this random square thing next to the Pokemon Center before you climb the mountain and head up to the League. There's nothing there on the new map. If you go down here, there's nothing here in this square. There's also nothing on this little island platform. Now if you zoom out all the way, which I'm going to do, you see all these ships here. The one thing is, it's probably just an effect of the lighting, but I did notice that the Aether Paradise top is red instead of blue. That's blue here, it's red here. That's probably just a lighting thing. If you do zoom all the way out, you'll see... when I first saw this map, I thought there were more ships traveling around, but if you see there's a ship there, ship there, ship there, and then move to here, those 4 boats, those are all old. Those were there in the original, but one thing they did add to this, other than those rocks aren't new, they added Wailord onto the map, and what looks like a school of Sharpedo or something. The Wailord might be to scale. The Wailord probably are to scale. I don't think the Sharpedo are. That's just another thing they decided to add. The thing is, there aren't enough new buildings to make a full 8 gym layout, so that could just be a revamped trial system, or some trials are gyms and some trials are just the classic old trial, but that's what I saw just based on the map. Other than that, the significant thing is definitely whatever this rift is. Like, it's probably a wormhole to Ultra Space or Necrozma something. It's something new. So that's all for the region map, really. And again, new secrets of the Alola region. You can see the new building right there. You can see the wormhole, or whatever it is. And zooming out again on the full map, that's just what I showed you before. New look for our heroes. This is just, hey, we redesigned the protagonist again like we do every game. I don't know. Personally, they look like going back to the overly young design that they used in some of the older games. They're a lot younger than the Sun and Moon protagonist. I don't know. I personally like the slightly older designs from like Gen 5 and 6 and then the original Sun and Moon, but that's just a personal preference. We kind of knew that they'd be redesigned. This does look like the exact same bedroom, so that lends credence to the fact that it's just a retelling or an alternate universe something, because they're in the same house. They're gonna move into the exact same house. And then, this is just going over Duskform Lycanroc, which is something we knew about before. This is just actually showing it in game. It's got the ability Tough Claws and can learn Accelerock and Counter, which were signature moves of both the other two Lycanroc forms. It's a mix between the two. I think we already knew that only certain Rockruff can evolve, presumably an event. And then this is just the usual release date stuff. Although something worth noting out, if you go back here, is there are eyes in the back here like this, in this background logo. Now, to me, it looks like I can bring up a picture of Necrozma. Just double check. That's not high enough resolution. Okay, yeah, its eyes look like this. They're prism-y things, whereas these eyes sort of look more like eyes. It looks like, since there's this blue one on the sun side and this red one on the moon side, it looks like they're just the eyes of the new Solgaleo and Lunala forms, and that's just what that's representative of. That's what seems the most likely for me. But other than that, we did get one other new trailer. And this is just not going to be a speculation thing, this is just more of a personal reaction to it. We got a new Z-Move trailer for Kamo-O, which sort of makes sense. It's the pseudo-legendary of this generation, so it makes sense that we'd get a signature Z-Move. It's dragon-based. I'm assuming this is based on Clanging Scales, because as you can see from the animation, as you will see from the animation, it's definitely a special move. Now, personally, Clangorous Soul Blaze is a really stupid name. Turns out Clangorous is an actual word, but there's a way to make it sound less of a clunky name. It'll probably grow on me. Other than that, animation looks nice. Again, it's setting off a wave rather than doing an attack, and the name is Soul Blaze, so it's probably a special move. And here, it's just the same multiplayer arena thing. Other than that, the only thing I would say is the animation seems a little long, even for a Z move. But other than that, it's just, hey, we got another exclusive Z move. This confirms that they are adding new things other than story stuff and the new legendaries. And if you check the description here, it says Commonium Z is, I do like the name Commonium Z. It's better than Commonium Z, that's for sure. And I did not check the Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon website to see if it says something specific. Can learn Clanging Scales. Oh! This I forgot. After the attack finishes, it's attack, defense, special defense, and speed raise. Now to me, that makes me think regular Clanging Scales, if I just go to Bulbapedia since that's the first thing, it will lower defense by 1 stage after use. And it's already a 110 power move. That makes me think that, since it raises all the stats, the Z move, Clangorous Soul Blaze, doesn't change the power, or if it does, it'll only boost it by like 10 or 20 or something. But it will turn it into an Ancient Power clone, where it'll do the same high power attack, but it will also raise all of your stats by 1 stage after use, just like any of those moves, Ancient Power, Silver Wind, those things. looks like... Yes, the first Z move able to attack all opponents, so it also has that. It's probably just increasing the range of clanging scales. Okay, doesn't say anything about how you get the Z Crystal for that. That's what I was going to check. Maybe the Z Crystal is an event thing. And it does talk about new Z moves here. Character wears a Z ring. We saw that before, that's a black Z ring instead of the white one. And in Ultra... Okay, it's called the Z Power Ring. I knew that they changed the name of it, so it is something completely different. The Z Power Ring. And then this is just normal Z move stuff, and of course, they make a toy of it. It's kind of the same. I'm actually going to look this up. You just get a picture of Tomy Z ring. This will do. You look at that. You look at that. They added like one piece of plastic to it here and another thing there. It's the exact same thing. If you notice, the crystals are slightly bigger too, so you have to buy completely new crystals if you want to use this one. But other than that, it's just... If there's an object, they're gonna make a toy for it. That's kind of to be expected. It's probably gonna have the same compatibility with the actual game that the original one did, where it communicates with the game, and if you use a Z move, it'll light up or whatever. I don't remember exactly what it did. But, yeah, that's all I could find. I don't think there's anything, other than the stat boost, I don't think there's anything else significant in this trailer. It's just be prepared for the Z move, and then the same ending scene from the last trailer. So, looks like that's everything. Stay tuned for more videos, maybe Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. I have a Splatoon 2 control guide coming out soon. And of course my ongoing Let's Play of Xenoblade Chronicles X. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. I've got info, Twitter and Twitch, where I'll stream and do Twitter stuff in the description, so you can follow me there as well. But, until next video, this is Luxon, signing off.